How many of you had some kind of tension today? All of us, right? So I guarantee you 100% what created the tension was from a false identification of whom we really are. Krishna tells Arjuna, the yogi whose mind is fixed, manasa, yes, whose mind is fixed on me, verily attains the highest happiness. Sukham means happiness. By virtue of his identity with Brahman, he is liberated. His mind is Shanta. His mind is peaceful, Shanti. His passions are quieted, and he is freed from sin, Akal Masanam. So here Krishna gives us some beautiful. Qualities of someone who is evolving. So he says the yogi, the spiritual seeker, right, whose mind is fixed on God, connects to our inner happiness. We become happy when we connect to divinity. And in that amazing happiness, we start to realize our true spiritual nature, because we are identifying with our higher self. As soon as we identify with something other than our higher self, right? Krishna says, by virtue of identifying with Brahman. So Brahman is a Sanskrit word which is translated for spiritual energy. As soon as we identify ourselves as spiritual, the mind becomes peaceful, right? As soon as we identify with something other than Brahman, it creates tension. Yes, I had the tension today because I thought I was a male. My false ego came out, and then I was trying to subjugate or suppress a female energy. How many of that is taking place right now on the planet? Amazingly, right? The tension I had today, I had tension with these young kids today because they don't understand how old I am. Older than them. I am 47. I had tension with these teenagers. Hello, Yogi Charu. All of us are eternal. Right? As soon as I identify with something other than the spiritual self, it creates attention. Right? I met this person. Not an ethnic group. I have tension with them because they're not my ethnic group. Whatever tension we had today, Krishna has given us the key where it came from. It came from the false ego. It came from the false perception of who we are. So if we had any tension in any time of our day, just sit back and contemplate. Why am I not being peaceful in my mind? Why is this tension there? It is because we have a false perception of who we are. The transcendentalists, the spiritual evolved being, tension falls away from them. Because when they move around in this dimension, they understand all these perceptions we put on ourselves are temporary, right? They're not who we are. And we don't react to someone who is acting through false ego. We don't go eye for an eye with someone who's acting through false ego. Now, an eye for an eye makes the whole world goes blind. So we have to live on a high platform, Krishna says. If you do that, we will experience Shanti in the mind. Your mind can either be peaceful or your mind can be agitated. Krishna says, I guarantee you, your mind is agitated because you have identified yourself. I am something, we call it mental modification, other than I am a spiritual being, right? So the whole world has so much tension right now because on a global scale, we are identifying with false perception. Nation going to war against another nation. Why do people like war so much, we ask? Because of the false ego. One country is thinking, I am this country, I have more power, and I'm going to subjugate you. You are less than me. Your country is less than me. If we just come to this realization, hello, in the eye of God, we are all weak. We are all spiritual beings. But to get to that purification takes work. And it comes from the leaders. If the leaders of a family, if the leader of a community, if the leader of a country has a false perception, it just creates the tension more and more and more. You can see when a leader is very evolved, you know, they understand we live in this dimension. We have to use these false designation, but they don't relate to it as intensely as that. You know, okay, we have this label as something on us. They have that label, but I understand we're all spiritual beings. If a leader is like that, tension falls away. So the yogis understand each and every one of us is a leader in our own little way. You are a leader of your family. You are a leader of your, maybe a group of friends. You are a leader of your, you know, a club you're a part of. So as you are a leader, set an example of someone who is resonating from, I am Brahman, I am a spiritual being. And treat each and every one of those people in your family, your community, your clubs as a spiritual being as well. If we start to live like that, Krishna says, we will be peaceful. Who wants to see a peaceful planet? Everyone. You ask anyone on the planet, if you meet a human being, you will see they have a lot of tension in them. What they're really crying for is peace. They want inner peace. They want outer peace. Everyone is looking for it. But our society think we can get there by facilitating the senses, giving material pleasures. The senses pleasures will never be satiated. So the yogis understood the senses need to be satiated in moderation. That's the key. If a leader has that understanding and shares, okay, I'm a leader, if I'm the leader of the country, I'll make sure everyone I'm ruling in this country has enough food to eat, not over enough. Everyone has enough water, enough, you know, enough medical care. You know, you rule the country with like that so that everyone is understand, oh yes, I don't have to stress out if I get ill. I don't have to stress out if because it's provided. That's leadership. That's how the Vedic kings used to rule. Of course, that's so far gone. So, but we are living this time now, right? So we have to be practical. But as a leader, that's where we have to see. We want to allow everyone around us, their senses, be satisfied in moderation. And that will help them to connect to their spiritual senses. So it's not you can't solve a spiritual imbalance with a material solution. Every issue we see on the planet stems from a spiritual issue. We can try and solve it materially, it ain't gonna work. It is only gonna work when we use the material assets and spiritualize them with wisdom. In that way, we all learn to live in moderation with our senses.